All right, well, good morning, everybody. Thank you all for coming out here on what's going to be an exciting weather day, it looks like here. But we appreciate you covering what's a really great story here. It's a win-win. We're here at the Hope Village as we highlight both their work and then announce a gift of electric-powered lawn maintenance equipment from the city's Air Pollution Control Board. A win-win for everybody here today. The Hope Bus and the Hope Village are a great story of citizenship, of leadership in a lot of different areas, including their dog that they invited to be part of the press conference here today. But that's part of what's going on here at the Hope Village. But they're really deserving recipient of this gift here today. When you think about the transformation that has taken place in this site in the past 6 months or so, from the city purchasing this location for a really needed element of our challenging our houselessness population here in Louisville, to transforming the site the way that you see it right now, and the results we're getting in Hope Village and Hope Bus and Reverend Bussey and Angel and the whole team stepping up to address this big community need. It has really worked out in a super fantastic way. Hope Village has transformed the lives now of dozens and dozens of individuals by first and foremost providing a safe place to stay, and then access to community partners who provide vital services in one location that just makes this part of their lives, the residents' lives, so much easier here. We've had residents gain employment while they've been here, secure permanent housing. Others are participating in recovery programs. They've reunited with their family, and or they've received mental health treatment. So some people have had all of that here. So lots of success taking place here. Now, we all know to be a great organization, you got to take care of business each and every day. And Angel and her team do that here. You got to always improve. And if you come to the Hope Village, you've seen improvement taking place almost on a daily basis. But you see them innovating as well. So we try to put all those things together. We call it daily work, continuous improvement work, and innovation work. And that's what you see here. And you see it come together in a lot of ways, but one of them is the programming that meets the needs of its residents. And that includes opportunities not only to improve the community, but then protect our environment. So great organizations understand that it's a both and. So here we're addressing houselessness challenges, and today we're talking about how we're doing this in an environmentally innovative way as well. Talk a little bit about sustainability, because it's obviously a big issue for our world and for our city and for the country. You see the climate crises that are taking place everywhere. So sustainability has been 11. Recently, we've had a couple announcements that have set some aggressive goals for us that we've been pursuing now here for the past decade. In 2020, the council and I worked to pass an ordinance committing to a 100% clean energy for Louisville Metro operations by 2035, and then community-wide clean energy by 2040. When you think about the contributors to greenhouse gas emissions, there's a lot of contributors, but the use of electric-powered the most consequential environmental legislation that our country has ever seen, and will allow our country to meet our commitments to the rest of the world in terms of the United States leading with environmental protection. So it looks like we're in good shape, but I would encourage people to contact their U.S. senators and say they support the Inflation Reduction Bill, which includes, as I said, many environmental advances as well. So we've got to do this, to take more choices that help our environment and our communities. So a big partner on this and leader is the Air Pollution Control District. They do an amazing job. The quality of Louisville's air exceeds that of the national standard that is required. And that's because a lot of people are contributing, but APCD, Rachel Hamilton and her team are leading the charge for that. So Carl Hilton is going to speak. Carl's the chair of the Air Pollution Control Board. Carl Hilton, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Fisher, for being here. And also like to thank Hope Village for having us here this afternoon or this morning. First, I'd like to, on behalf of the Louisville Metro Air Pollution Control Board, we'd like to thank the Hope Village for this work they've done on this project. This will set an example that will be an inspiration for everyone, that you can use these electric mowers, weeders, and everything to cut your grass. And they've made a big improvement in these equipment. Like Mayor Fisher mentioned, there's over 71,000 acres of grass that's being cut in Louisville. That's a lot of grass to cut. That's a lot of grass. So I think with all the technology we have around the batteries for these pieces of equipment, I think it's essential that people try to look and see if this would be for them, because we want Louisville to be a very clean, air quality community for everyone. This opportunity for this group is that we'd like to really support organizations that have the environmental incentive to do some excellent work around air pollution control, air quality work. The transition to cleaner sources of energy, like electrical vehicles, will also really make a big difference. And most of you probably have seen in the news something that's going on with our climate. We have intense rainstorms. We have forest fires in the west. So something is going on. And so I think it's time for us to wake up and look at some alternatives of using these gas mowers and weeders. Also, Louisville is a leader in finding sustainable energy and goals for this particular project. This project will make a difference for the folks here in Hope Village. And by the way, Hope Village is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So I'm sure people can donate to this cause. And what I'm going to do is probably tell some of our friends and some of my organizations that they will accept donations for this particular work. The last thing I want to just say is that thank you to the Hope Village for their work and for bringing this opportunity to us. And here with us today is several members of the Hope Village. So I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Fisher, and he's going to introduce the staff here.
Thank you, Carl. Let's hear it for APCD. Well, I talked about great citizenship and great leadership before, and in the role that I've had over the years, you hear a lot of people talk about what should be done, but then they don't show up to do what they're talking about. So when we find leaders in the community that both can think about improving the community and their role in making it happen, and then putting plans together and then advocating for that, and then becoming part of a solution to move a city forward, to me, that's, I guess, to use horse racing language, because any city's going to have a lot of challenges, and you see that all over the world. So what you need is people coming together to identify them and then work together to make the city a better place. And that's when you know you're really in the game. And that's what Hope Village really represents to me. And the whole Hope Bus, founded by Reverend Stachel Bussey several years ago, has been helping our community in many different ways. And when we put the request for proposals out on who would operate the Hope, what became known as the Hope Village, when I saw that Reverend Bussey and her team were competing for that, I said, Reverend, you got enough capacity to do all this? And she said, don't worry, we'll put the team together to make this happen. So she's a great entrepreneur as well. Also has her PhD in divinity. And so when we talk about Stachel Bussey, we should always call her Reverend Stachel Bussey, one of Louisville's great citizens. Reverend Bussey.
Thanks so much, Mayor Fisher. Again, he said he always takes it all at the beginning and then wants everybody to finish it after him. But he said everything that needed to be said. I think it's especially important to me. At 12 years old, I had a job, and my godfather, he's probably watching right now, and I cut about 5 yards every week, and that was my allowance. And so when we had the opportunity to meet with the APCD board to really not just bring equipment here, but also to give our residents responsibilities. When they come here, this is not where I see all the comments when they look like under WDRB and they just making them lazy and they just enable them. But that's not what we do here at the Whole Village. Behind me, there's a chore sign up sheet where you take a chore, you take a list, and you take a job, and we have, and our residents, they are the ones who maintain the ground along with our project assistants. But they do an incredible job and they take pride in it. And also, it's just an incredible, way to teach people responsibility when they do get into housing. And by the way, I think we are at 10 people in 3 months who have been housing. So I think that is something to absolutely celebrate. Right. And we want them to actually stay in housing. And sometimes we understand when you come from the streets and then you go to housing, you don't always have the tools you need to actually stay in the housing. So here we give them every resource we can. It is an incredible team. And I think a name you don't hear enough is Angel L. Todd, who was the site director here and the director of operations for the whole bus. And I know I get to be the energetic face, but she is absolutely the brains behind the operations. I just say we should do it, and then she makes it all happen. So I think you guys should absolutely hear from her today. And there's probably a couple residents who I'm sure will watch this later and be like, I saw my stuff on TV, and we got to make sure we put it back where it goes, so that they'll make sure they can get their task completed. But I want to introduce Angel L. Todd, who's done an incredible job running the whole village. Her and Tiny have just came and just exceeded the expectations. So I want to give her a chance to say something. Again, when we created this, we did not want it just to be a place where we enabled you, but where we gave you some responsibility and where you came and you actually learned what it meant to be in community and eventually learn how to be on your own. So people, site director and the director of operations for the whole bus, site director of the whole village, Angel L. Todd.
She always does this to me. Hey, you guys. Yeah, I thought I had what I was going to say, but it's losing me. I am a story person, so I will say this. Since we've had the Hope Village open, what I've enjoyed is just meeting and getting to know all of our individuals who come in and live with us. We have people who come from all walks of life. And if you look at them, you might not think so. But we have folks who have culinary degrees. We have folks who, are mathematicians and can do numbers like I can't even think of. We have people who just want to be safe and want to be cared for. And that's what we do here. One of the things that I love is that, yes, like Stachel said, we have a chore list, we have tasks, but it's very seldom that we have to remind people to do those things because they find value in their home. And so even with this lawn care equipment, they have been biting at the bits to get their hands on it to go and take care of the space where they live. And that's as simple as, I just need to get the weeds from around my shelter. I'll do the big yard, and to see them take such pride in that. Even the ones who really don't know what they're doing, like me, and was threatened, not threatened, but, encouraged, make sure you do it right so we don't break it. But the fact that they want to learn. And that can be a total coping skill for some people. I don't know how many people really do lawn care, but that's what I hear. And that's what we're giving them is opportunities to learn different skills. And to just figure out who they are in this new world of being stable in this place and then what it looks like to go somewhere else. And so that's where I hang my head. It's just all the interactions that I continuously get to have with them and the experiences that we get to give them. So when the rain stops, because we live in Louisville, we hope that we will open up all of these boxes and we will have, a cutting party around here, and the grounds will just be amazing because the residents care enough about it to do it. So thank you guys.
See, she got the stories. So we here at the Hope Village. I don't really believe in like one person being in leadership. So we do something what we call a collective leadership. If I was making all the decisions, the Hope Village probably would have been doomed the day it was open. But I wanted to introduce to you the collective leadership who make a lot of decisions for what goes on. But there's also an advisory council who's not here today over the Hope Village, who includes a lot of local community people. And they do an incredible job. It's about 10 of them coming in and help setting the precedent for the Hope Village. But some of the crew that I have here today, of course, you met Angel Todd, who's the site director and the director of operations for the Hope Bus. And I have the incredible Tiny Heron, who is just who's done work in the city of Louisville. And it was a dream when she got in my inbox and said, I think I want to come and work for the Hope Village. I was like, I think you do too. But it was, yes, Tiny and her group, all of the grassroots group, but her group, the Forgotten Louisville, have been on the streets, and so many other groups, grassroots groups, who help make the Hope Village work. And Tiny is just, I'm just glad she's here. She's done this work, and y'all know her name. She's done all this outreach work in Louisville, so I'm glad she's here at the Hope Village. She is our care coordinator. Tiny coordinates all of the care that our residents get, and then she also takes case, and she handles all of our care managers and case managers, and Tiana went somewhere else because she went to walk the dog, because that's what our case managers do around here. She went to walk one of our residents' dogs. We have Nanny Crony here, who is a program lead for the Hope Bus, but here at the Hope Village, she manages all of the interns. And by the way, I think something that's incredibly cool, when I talk about community, I don't just say it, like I actually mean it. And so I think by September, we will have an intern from every local college in the city of Louisville. Right, that's something to celebrate. All right. So Nanny manages all of our interns. She has an MSW, does all this incredible work. And, it was a social worker in the city of Louisville, so I appreciate that. And one person who you did not see represented here is Leanne. I think she has one of the hardest jobs. She manages all of the project assistants and the people who do the day-to-day work alongside of our residents. So that is your core leadership. It is 5 of us making it all happen around here. And so I want you to give that group a hand, because first of all, they got to work with me. And then second of all, they have done an incredible job building out the Hope Village and bringing this vision to life. So we should really just thank them. Yeah. And so we have a lot of different, again, you can go to our website and see all the grassroots organizations. But another thing I want to highlight is the way that this runs is volunteer grassroots organizations. How many volunteer hours do we have? We're about 220 hours of volunteers who literally give that amount of time to the Hope Bus. There are some organizations who are consistently here. One of those organizations is Summer Dickinson and Women of the Well, who absolutely take a lead role here. There are some other organizations, Jacob's Ladder. I might not call everybody's name, but Daryl and Fern Creek Street Reach, they do an incredible job. My Dog Eats First supplies all of our pets with everything they need. It's another Louisville organization, Louisville Grows, who donated their trailer to us to make sure that we have storage, and all of this, and all of the park benches that you see, they donated that to us. So this city really has come together and set the precedent for what it really looks like when we do community together. And so I think it's not just the Hope Village, but I think you got to give the entire city of Louisville a hand right now, because this is what we do, and this is who we can be when we are a community who shows up for each other. Every single Thursday, people are dropping off everything, pots and pans. I don't know where they were going to cook it at, but people drop off everything, just the ordinary people who come by every day to make sure that the work is done. So thank you so much to the city of Louisville. We want to applaud you. Yeah. So keep on giving. And I think that's really that's it. That's my job. Oh, Alicia Ariati, y'all, who works directly with us. My God, help her soul. But thank you so much for Alicia being here and all of the Metro team who's not represented here, RCS, who really make sure it's, we stay in compliance and do the work that we need to do. So thank you.
Thank you, Rev. We do want to note too, so the funds for the Hope Bus came from the American Rescue Plan. So when we think about the federal funds and how they came together, this is one of the first projects we were able to get underway. We set up a separate little division within Metro that's led by Margaret Handmaker. Alicia Ariati has been the project manager for getting the Hope Village up and running from just a newly purchased piece of property to now where we're housing some 45, 50 or so residents here. And with all the results that are coming from that. So a lot of work went into to do that. Alicia, I want to recognize you for being a great project manager with a great big heart as well. Let's give it up for her. Thank you. All right, so thanks everybody for coming out here today where we see an environmental win for the community and continuing assistance and improvements going into our houselessness challenges as well. So with that, we're happy to take any questions.
Morning, Mayor. I know this is a great gift from this department. Are other departments in the city stepping up and doing the same type of in-kind gifts and support for the whole village?
Well, mainly through just services that we've done. So when Hope Village needs something, they'll communicate with Alicia or RCS, our Resource and Community Services team, and say, here's what the current bottleneck is, here's what we need to get done. It could be in the case of setting this up, like making sure electricity's here, codes and regulations are here. How are we doing in terms of bringing this building over here will be bridge housing for us probably in the next year and a half, 2 years or so. So there's a lot that goes into this campus right here. So all the Metro government's behind them. Yeah, ice is good. Calling on all ice machine manufacturers out there. We need your help here at Hope Village. And let's run that as a little below your screen there on the TV stations, if you would. And what's for the 501c3, if people want to donate to the Hope Bus.com? Hope Bus, HOPEBUSS.org. It's a good investment. It's a great investment. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming out today.
Hey guys, we're switching from the box to the microphone so I can go mobile. Hope y'all could hear everything. Sorry about the little dropout. I think we lost Wi-Fi for a minute, but that's okay. So we're going to talk to Stay Shell here for just a minute. That was a great call out that the mayor made for an ice machine because that's what we desperately need. Give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me, please. Give me a comment if you can still hear me. I just switched from the board to the microphone. So just give me a quick comment if you can still hear the feed. I need to know. You've been commenting throughout, Melissa. Can you still hear me? I need to know that right now. Can you still hear me? Comment, please. Need to know. I'm just going to assume that you can. So here we go. Okay, I can hear myself, which is even better. We're going to hop on over here and chat. Just a moment. Okay, you two, we're still live. I want you to have a moment, both of you, to say what you have to say.
What do you want me to say?
Stand right over there next to your padre and let's just get you to talk a little bit because you didn't get a chance to speak on a mic.
Well, this is Tiana, and she's our new case manager. So she's part of my team, and she's phenomenal. Let me just say that.
Thank you.
She gives good hugs too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tiana. Heidi, you've been doing this for over a decade, over a dozen years actually, longer than that. Tell us what is compelling about this work in the Hope Village.
Well, it's something different that's never been done in our city. And as much as I've been involved in outreach and homeless services, this is something new, and I wanted to be a part of that. It took me a while. I just kind of sat back behind the scenes and kind of watched as things unraveled. And then when I saw that it was going to take off and go forward, I thought, I need to get in there. I need to get my feet in there. And I've been with it since day one. And I've been excited to see the different folks that have come through here. Some only last a day or two because this just isn't the spot for them. Some people have been here since day one. Some people have moved into permanent housing or into treatment. I love that it's a single spot where other partners in the community can come out and engage with clients that they normally couldn't find. So yeah, those are the kind of things that I'm enjoying about here.
Tiana?
Well, I'm completely new to this. I'm used to working with women and children and families, but I love it. I mean, it is every day it's something new, and it's definitely a population that deserves advocacy. And so I'm enjoying this and being a part of Tiny's team and learning from her, really learning my own judgments and biases, and like, this is week 4, and unraveling those things has been very interesting, learning about myself, being able to help people who choose to be here in a safe space only. But we do have a lot who are working towards, home, having housing. But you also have some who are okay with living in a safe outdoor space. And I think that is something that I've had to learn to accept. So I'm glad to be here.
Guys, we love you and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good job always. We just are so grateful. So, by the way, when you come to the Hope Village, you can bring your pets. And that's a huge problem in this city. Very few shelters allow pets to be brought in. So it's really important to know that they need supplies for pets as well as for humans here at the Hope Village. And this great group of folks has come together this morning to celebrate the donation of some lawn care equipment, but so much more is needed, and we definitely need to get folks in here helping.
Like sometimes it's still mind blowing sometimes. What's mind blowing is not something that we created. Like, this was easy, right? We can think about the solution because we worked with homeless people for 3 or 4 years. What I think is incredible is the way that this community comes. Like, it is the number of people who stop by, right? Who just drop by and say we have extra food. Like the number of people who just come and be a part of what we do. Like, we had extra food, or I had extra blankets, like all the calls that I get. There's probably been over 300 agencies and just regular individual people who just call me and say, hey, I have this thing. And, regular conversation, all the things. So like, that's what's mind blowing. But it's also what I see the city of our future being. Like, this is really what community looks like. And we had a hard time in 2020. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. But what came from that was that we had to step back, take a look at our city, and see the areas that we needed to be better in. Right? And so this was our opportunity to bring all of that together. From protests, all of that. What could we do to really create a space that serves the most vulnerable population in the city of Louisville? And everybody has come together to do that. And it's not mind blowing. It's just consistently I don't know. Every day it makes me grateful. And I know, and that shows me to see that we can actually keep working towards it.
Are you just excited for the residents here, their growth, and to
So
see them?
it's not just them, they grow up. Right? We learn every day from them. We learn something new. They're the experts. We don't come to it like we're the experts. We're not the experts. But some of them have been on the street for 30 and 40 years. Our oldest resident was 74. Our youngest was 21. Right? And to watch them interact together, right? And talk life lessons and watch them protect each other. So it's it's incredible to watch them just kind of be in community again and just really just, you know, do the kind of things that, you know, just it's a family. It's you know, the whole village family. The musicians that we have in here, the mechanics that we have in here, the people with degrees that we have in here, people who used to be nurses, like all of those things, like you meet here. And so we learn so much from them every day that just shows up, you know, and that's just.
And my last question, because I've heard you guys talk about, and just other people before the press conference, that you guys are looking to transform this building and just, so
Yeah.
what is next?
So we're working with Metro government. We essentially have a meeting about transforming this into bridge housing, but not just bridge housing. And we don't really call it transitional housing. I'm trying to move everybody from that transition. We like to call it transformational housing, right? Transition is kind of be like, you just kind of here and then you move one space to the next. Transformational is really where you give every resource you can, right? You put somebody in here, you give them resources, you give them this one-to-one, you give them care case night that's not overloaded, right? You give them everything they can. So we try to do transformational solutions. Right? So we're trying to take this to transformational housing, right? With that, with our 8 on every floor, a certain amount of apartment on every floor. I think with the last, you know, we're working to see how many we can get, you know, from the building on each floor. But downstairs, what I'm really excited about is what we're building a community space, right? That would be somewhat like the whole village. It would be like the whole community space, I hope. But that's what it would be. And so it would be for the house's community to come and consistently receive medical services. So everything we've started will just continue there, outside, and in the basement. And then people will actually be able to live and migrate to this building.
And are you guys looking, I know I said that was the last question.
That's okay.
I lied, but are you guys also looking to be able to bring more people inside?
We're actually looking to, we don't think we need one whole village. We're actually trying to expand to the south end. So that's our goal really for the next year, to create more safe outdoor spaces all over the city. I think we need like 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure some people would agree with me. But this is right now. We will have data that we've never had before. We will be able to talk to the city about what we've done and what we've done in 3 months. We've seen literally what we've done in 3 months.
So you guys started this in 3 months?
Yeah. No, well, it's been 3 months since we've been open. April 28th, I think, officially. And so, April 28th, we got our first resident. We've been working on the project for almost a year. But we're hoping to open more safe outdoor spaces, looking for land, looking for people, looking for churches, looking for people who are like, and we don't have to have 53. We can do it with 20. We can do it with 10. We can do it with 15. But our goal is to literally work with organizations, private, public, government, anybody who says, in any of our 81 small cities who say, we want to do something like this in our city. But this is my cause, like the city of Shively, and the city of Stratmore, and the city of St. Matthews, and the city of Butcher, all those cities to say, you can do something like this, even if it's not to the scale, but something like this in your particular city. And we're, you know, that's our goal. How do we, you know, we don't need 81, but how do we create them? You know, how do we create more safe outdoor spaces? Because I really think this is an innovative solution, and it is helping a lot of people. You know, we've only housed 53, but we help hundreds of people. You know, so that's my goal.
Thank you.
Good job, Seychelle. Hopefully we get that ice machine.
Yes.
All right, you guys, that was awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. We have really good news. They got some lawn care equipment here at the Hope Village donated. We encourage anybody else who is in a place to do a donation like that to step forward. We just asked for an ice machine. You heard it from the mouth of the mayor. Anybody who's got a new ice machine they'd like to donate, maybe with a service agreement, that would be terrific. We're picking up literally from restaurants every single day coolers and coolers of ice during this hot summer, and it's not even close to over. So if you guys have an ice machine available and you want to donate it, they'd really appreciate it. Don't give us a broken down old shitty one, because it takes too much to fix it. A nice new ice machine with a service agreement would be terrific. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate you so much. Have a wonderful day.